Hello?
Come on, let's start strong. Hi, everybody.
Hey, this is the Riot Podcast, and we're glad you're here because the energy you bring, combined with the energy we bring, makes for a powerful day, Nikki.
It does. Thank you for choosing this to be your podcast for today.
I want you to take a minute and think. If you had to choose a finger to rule the world, which finger would you choose?
That's a good question.
Let's skip ahead. It's any finger on your hand. Not mine, yours, because you have the power to rule your world.
That is motivational.
Instead of constantly looking to others, you be the leader.
Hey, let's not do too much, otherwise they'll stop the podcast.
Okay, all right, okay. Just saying, whatever you need, Nick, you tell me what you're looking for, and I'll help you.
Hopefully we're going to provide that for you guys.
Do you want to hear despair? What's the point in even going on? I don't even see why we're here.
Save that for another day.
It's just a mud ball hurling through the darkness. Enjoy it while you can, I guess.
All right. Well, with that, what do we get in the podcast today?
Okay, let's see. We talk about my phone journey, which it's a journey.
It's a process.
Super sick Monday, pig cuddling. Not a euphemism.
Is that your favorite?
I don't know. Like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, maybe that's what I need. I need a pig to cuddle
therapy with that.
Let's see. Dunkaroos.
Not Dunkaroos. That'd be the other animal sanctuary, not the pig farm.
We talk about YouTube, Blackberries, not shaving, napping. Love napping. But then also, what kind of alarm should you wake up to?
So there's the both sides of it.
And film licensing.
Boy, our show really covers everything. Sleeping and then what to do to wake you up from when we tell you to go to sleep.
And then this show puts you to sleep.
I know. It's the best.
It's perfect. It's all part of your circadian rhythm. We're here to help. Here to help. So you guys enjoyed today's podcast. I will say, I know I do this all the time, but hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Would love to know what game you're playing right now. I finished something up over the weekend, and now I just feel like a lost soul.
Did you put that in? Which sounds like a game.
I did. I'm sure it is. I didn't put that in, actually.
You should
I
put
left
it in the
it.
podcast.
Okay, well, I'll throw it in.
That way they can
there.
hear some of the options and stuff that you've been thinking about.
All right, here come some of my options.
And then if you have any other options, don't forget, we love to when you text us. So you can text us at 877-2-RADIO-U. Just put your podcast listener and your name, and then when we're back in the studio, if it's not during our normal show time, we'll text you when we're back in. Or you can message us at RadioU Riot on our Facebook page.
All right. Anything else?
Wonderful, wonderful day.
All right. Well, you guys have a great today. And remember, I've said it wrong. Make today great.
Yes.
Okay? You guys get out there and make today great.
Gosh.
It is the Riot.
Bye.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Welcome to Tuesday. Woo!
Yay!
For the last few days, I have been asking people about their mobile phone service.
Yeah, because you're about the time where your year-long one's up.
It's just been a fascinating journey. I feel like I'm learning more about people than I am about phone service.
Because of what they like?
Well, it's this thing where I can't deny that I'm sure that we all have had experiences that were bad. You know, like where it wasn't really your fault. Circumstances, you got a bad phone or a bad customer service or a bad whatever. And it's just interesting to watch how some people are like, yeah, like a couple problems here and there, but it's fine. And other people are like, the worst. It's the worst. I hate it.
The passion behind the hate is something that's amazing to see.
Or it's like, I just love it.
I adore them.
They're so good. And I'm like, are we talking about your phone service?
So you're kind of wanting people to push the emotions aside and get down to like, hey, how's it actually work in my area?
Yeah, and I can't get a straight answer out of anybody. Like, at least
you're going to have to wait and see which one you fall into.
Well, I feel like I did. I have surprisingly come across a one that I think I'll bet I end up going with that I would have never expected. If you, like my cable company, has a mobile service that uses Verizon's network, and it's cheap. Like as long as you're a customer with them, you get this discounted. Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh. Are you bundling?
I'm about to bundle.
Oh my gosh.
I know, but it's not a home phone.
Oh, I don't even know you.
I know. I know. I can't believe it.
You're going to be getting cable back again, are you?
No. No, I'm
yes,
not.
you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
The only thing that, like, T-Mobile really had me going, all right, guys, this is like true confessions time. I want to get an iPhone.
Yeah.
And they were offering me a cheap one.
A cheap iPhone or just a cheap phone?
Well, it was a cheap iPhone. I could get it. And so now I'm out in the wilds.
You're
looking.
just waiting.
Has anybody, well, Nikki, how about you?
Yeah.
Of course, I know that you haven't, but have you experienced, have you ever heard stories about people that buy, a refurbished iPhone? Because, a new iPhone, I can't. I choose not to use my resources in that way.
Honestly, even refurbished, they're always just fine.
Okay.
So you should be good.
That's what I was thinking about. Maybe, because I don't even know why I want one, but I'm just I've decided I want to get
You're
one.
ready.
I am. I want one. So
So that's the big project for this week as you work on it.
It really shouldn't be.
Well, you take your time. You take your time and you want to pick what's right for you.
I just feel like when I have downtime, it's should probably start researching the...
Don't research anymore. Just go with.
I'm right on the verge. I'm about to cross over.
A Rotten Tomatoes score so high, they refuse to make it public. The Riot on Radio U.
Man, I just feel really bummed out because yesterday we apparently just hugely missed our chance.
For what?
Well, Nikki, Sunday was the Super Bowl.
It was.
You knew that, right?
Yes.
Well, I don't know if you knew this, but Monday after the Super Bowl, they call it Super Sick Monday.
Yeah, everybody skips out of work.
Whoa, what the heck?
There's always a petition that usually goes around to actually make it a national holiday.
Well, my eyes just rolled on that, but
that's not going to happen. But a lot of people do call in sick because you do a little too much on Sunday night.
Super Sick Monday?
Yeah, it's been a thing.
Super Sick Monday?
Well, those that don't get so super sick have to come in to tell people that take the super sick day off.
That it's okay.
They have to have someone there for them.
Well, who's going to be there for me?
You have taken this mantle of having a morning show and decided that it can't be you.
Back on it.
But it's a thing.
Super
I don't know if anybody took the day off yesterday, but it's quite common.
According to Kronos, and who the heck knows what they do, but they apparently issue press releases with made-up numbers. They say...
And they schedule the press release because they're not in on Monday when they actually send it out.
They're not there. 17 million Americans call off the day after the Super Bowl. That's real? That's an actual thing?
You go, you call off, you take your TV back that you bought just to watch the game. You have a very busy day after, which would have been yesterday.
Okay, well, here's what I want then. I want to hear from you guys. Somebody text me. I won't reveal your name probably. But I want to know if anybody listening to the Riot right now
took it off yesterday,
called in on Super Sick Monday.
We need your name, your employee ID number, where you work at, and we promise not to tell your boss.
You know what? It's okay. We won't tell, but I really want to know
if anybody
listening right now called in for Super Sick Monday. I mean, Nick did. Our news guy, he was like, yeah, I'm getting my gallbladder out.
Nick, actually, we've had that verified. Nick is actually out.
I went to the hospital.
He took it next level. I mean, he was really honest with it.
Well, you know what? He really did have a Super Sick Monday.
I wonder, since, a lot of people, if you're listening traditionally earlier in the morning, if you're just fine, it didn't bother you to get up yesterday anyways.
Meaning?
Whereas if you work in a job where you're in at lunchtime, or if you work in the afternoon, maybe you're just I'll just take the whole day off. I'm not going in.
You're like, you know what? I don't go to work till noon. It's
Why
not even work.
Going in? Whereas if you're early morning hours, you've been beaten down before and you just get up and go anyways.
Nikki and I's perspective on you, if you don't go into work at 5 a.m. is, you know what? You might as well just take the whole day off.
You might be just free and fancy. Just wonderful.
Do you even have a job?
What are you even doing? And how do you manage that?
Yeah, we're doing fine. It's fine.
So feel free to text if you took yesterday off. You're welcome to tell us all your other information, though. Just your name's fine.
Super Sick Monday. So what's the Tuesday? If you're like, well, might as well, 2 for Tuesday. That's what we'll call it. Well, since you've already had the Monday off, why even go on Tuesday?
If you want to make it convincing, to make it seem like you really were sick, one day wouldn't be enough.
Oh, yeah.
So you'd have
really
to have
sick,
the 2 days.
Have 2.
But it depends on if your boss wants a note, from your doctor.
I don't know. I think I think twice in all my time at RadioU, I've been out sick for 2 days. And the one time I took the one day off and I came in the next day, I was like, I can do it. Oh, I can't.
I can't do it.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, you haven't talked at all about the new Jane Austen movie.
Oh, Emma?
You obviously know about it.
Oh, yeah. The trailer came out last year.
Last year?
It did.
Well, okay, it's January. It's February.
I
okay,
can say
all
that
right,
like it
okay.
actually was.
Yeah. So what are the plans? Are you excited?
I am. I guess I forgot it was coming out this month, wasn't it?
February 21st.
Well, there we go. That's what I'll be seeing.
And
Emma's not my favorite story from Jane Austen. It's right in the middle, so I can appreciate, though, a new take on it.
I've seen the Gwyneth Paltrow Emma.
Yeah.
So that's the only one of that I've seen.
They did a BBC short miniseries one.
I remember that happening.
I actually like that one better than the Gwyneth Paltrow one.
Well, I just assumed they're like, hey, we're doing this new Jane Austen movie. It's called Emma. And I was like, dude, you know what? It's going to be some crazy twist on it. Like, Emma is actually a secret agent for the British Crown. And
I think it's just Emma.
I was reading up on it, and they're just like, no.
It's just a new take on it. No, that's the wrong way to say it. It's just an updated.
It's
just a new version. Yeah, it's not like a new storyline.
There's no twist here. They're just going to go to the book. They're going to try to remain faithful to the book.
And there's the movie.
I didn't even know they still did that.
I know. It's refreshing, isn't it?
It kind of is, because I am not kidding when I tell you. I was like, well, what's the sick twist they're putting on this?
No, that's it. At least that's all that it should be.
It's just Emma again. So not like Emma and zombies, Emma and sea monsters, whatever.
So Emma was the final novel Jane Austen published in her lifetime.
Well, I didn't know that.
So Emma's been adapted numerous times before.
Okay. Well, like I said, I've seen it. So do you think that since I've already seen one of them, do you think I need to go back and see the next one?
That's how I kind of treated Little Women when it came out at Christmas. I was like, well, I mean, it's hard because you know the whole thing.
Sure.
There's no spoilers. There's no, I can't believe or shock. There's nothing motivating me to go see it necessarily in the movie theater when I thought, I'll just wait till it comes out. And I can watch it anytime because there's no rush because I already seen it all.
Yeah, it's true.
But for this, I might make an exception.
Might make a little trip.
Yeah, I always did enjoy Jane Austen more.
I'm sure Eric will be thrilled to hear about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because I'll have to make him go. I've never been to a movie by myself, though I've tried.
It's time.
This could be the one.
Time. It's time.
There's some other movie. I forget what it is, but there's another movie out, I think, also at the end of this month or maybe the 1st of March that I wanted to see that I thought, well, maybe I should see that one by myself.
It's time.
It is.
Do it.
But can you be in the theater next to me?
Sure.
So you can go see something else, but at least I'm not completely by myself in the whole movie theater.
So you're saying if you have a panic moment, there's somebody nearby.
Yeah. I just have never done it. I don't know why. It's just weird.
Like junior high and I'm your dad taking you on a date, but you're going out by yourself.
Yeah.
I'll be in the back of the theater.
Yeah, but
so
you're just
technically
nervous.
You're here by yourself. But just in case you got a problem.
It might have to be the first movie I go see by myself completely.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to do it.
So when is it? February
21st.
21st. All
Nikki,
right.
You need to grow.
It's
all right,
the
it's
year
time.
of me. I can do it.
It's time. I'm so proud of you. You're growing up.
No, I haven't committed yet. I just said maybe if that should be.
Just the fact that we're thinking about it.
I feel like it's
a
about
step.
it.
That's the first step.
Unless someone really wants to go see Emma with me.
No.
Then I can't help it if someone
wants to go. Nobody go with her.
Yes.
Wow. Not only are you already awake, but you're listening to The Riot? Your day is off to a pretty rough start. The Riot on RadioU.
Listen. Something that I think about a lot is, what am I going to do when the riot's over? And I don't know what's going to make it end. I don't know what it would be, but, if Nikki finally has had enough or, whatever.
Or just by, how many years later.
And so, I've done some exploring. I keep encouraging Nikki to look into, a goat farm. That's a business we could do together. I run the front end. Nikki takes care of the goats. I don't know. There's just a lot of things. But here's something that I didn't know was a job. And two, I think I might be qualified for.
What's the job?
Pig cuddler.
A what?
A pig cuddler.
Oh, for like little pigs or?
The Cotton Branch Farm Sanctuary in Leesville, which is in South Carolina, they're looking. Oh, it's volunteers.
No, you're never going to make it.
It's
you
not
can't
gonna work.
live off that.
You can't. No,
You need
unless
a
they're going to
job.
let me take a pig home so I can live off the land,
No, you
as
can't.
it were.
You're then like he was the ultimate cuddler. He killed a pig.
So what they're looking for is they need some people to be piggy cuddlers.
Aww.
They want you to sit with the pigs.
At the sanctuary,
You'll scratch their bellies.
spend some time with them.
And talk to them because these piggies, they're rescue pigs.
They've been through a lot.
Like, that's even
We've
a
all been
thing.
through a lot.
Like,
We
it's
don't
a
get
thing.
like cuddlers.
A
And
rescue pig. And so then you're helping socialize them so they can get ready for adoption.
for people who want to take them home.
That's right. And there are so many people that just want their own pet pig.
I guess if you have some free time, that would be something nice to do.
Man, look at that pig's teeth.
I haven't seen the picture.
Those teeth are legit.
Is it a big pig or a little pig?
They say, you starve the pig.
No, I know. No one wants to hear that. It's a sanctuary pig.
Sanctuary pig will still eat you.
No, not if you cuddle it
You don't think
and
so?
scratch it and be nice to it and
then
feed it. Then you're fine.
Well, I'll tell you what, just don't, whatever you do, don't go in there with an open wound because once they smell blood.
It'll be too much. Scott, thank you for your text. He says, I love to cuddle bacon. So thank you, Scott.
I do too. I do. So listen, I'm just telling you that if you feel like, you've missed your calling in life, it's volunteer only. But, a lot of people have to work a job so that they can volunteer.
With something they love?
Right. So they can follow their passion. So if your passion is the cuddling and socializing of rescue pigs,
Then this is perfect for you.
there's a place for you.
There is.
There's a place for you.
And let's say never, because sometimes if you work well enough on a volunteer basis, maybe then when they're hiring, they'll look towards you.
They're like, listen, this Obadiah guy, he shows up, he volunteers, he's been volunteering for a couple years. We just feel like it's time to bring him on staff.
Exactly. And then you got it.
He's doing such an amazing job cuddling the pigs.
But you will need another job.
Look at him just out there sleeping.
They just love to just take a nap with him.
Yeah. No. And what's that story? It's the prodigal son where he's like, I have to sit with the pigs and eat with the pigs. I'm going to go home to my dad. So, because at least his servants don't have to get out here with the pigs.
Sure.
Yeah. So, I guess I'm going to spend some time with the pigs, and then I'm moving back in with my dad.
Is
so
that it?
My career path
It looks great.
is locked in.
They're like, what have you done? What happened to you? You're like, what do you mean?
Well, Nikki kicked me out, and I went to live with the pigs, and
And that didn't work out, so now I'm back at home in the basement.
I'm living with my dad now. But the good
Hey,
news
then
is,
he can go back on his phone plan. You won't have to look for a new carrier. Might not be a bad idea.
my heart hurts a little after this conversation.
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Our long national nightmare is over. General Mills is bringing back Dunkaroos.
This is big news this week.
You know what's big for them?
I was trying to think
How many meetings do you think they had? How many strategizing sessions
on bringing it back.
on bringing back the Dunkaroo?
So, has it been in a movie or a TV show recently, which is why it's coming back? Like, that's the only thing I couldn't catch.
You know why
Like,
bring
why
it back?
decide for that to come back?
I got nothing.
Like, where was it? Was it in something? And you're like, oh, yeah, okay. Now it became well known again because of it popping up in a show.
I don't know. I don't see anything about it being,
Connected in any way?
connected to anything at all. Apparently, it was discontinued in the United States, but it was still available in Canada, which is, I would like to say, totally unfair that the land of the free and the home of the brave was also the land of no Dunkaroos.
Did you eat them ever, or was that something?
It doesn't matter.
You're just supposed to be supportive of it coming back?
Nikki, as food enthusiasts, you and I are supposed to really be out there.
We did see, wasn't it the Dunkaroos like in the yogurt thing? Remember when we went and did our...
But they weren't Dunkaroos. They were something else.
I thought it was Dunkaroos, or maybe the company.
All I know is that Dunkaroos are coming back this summer.
Okay, well,
if you saw Dunkaroos, then I wouldn't eat those because they're at least 8 years old.
It looked like it had a little kangaroo, but it was into yogurt. It wasn't into... I think the old ones used to be into like an icing or something.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to say, if you don't know what it is, think graham crackers, like Teddy Graham, something like that, and then you're dipping it into icing on the side. Wow.
Sounds great, doesn't it?
It sounds like exactly the low-fat, whatever snack you're looking for.
Ooh, that could be the new after-show snack.
I'm in.
You're in.
I'm in. Let's do it. Now, it's not until this summer, but I'm learning things about life that, a lot of the things that we purchase are things that you can just make at home on your own, which blows my mind. So like yesterday, I really wanted a Reese cup, but I didn't have one. Mm-hmm. So I just went ahead and took some chocolate and dipped it in peanut butter. And
that
I was
worked?
like, man, why do I even buy a Reese cup anymore?
So at this point, are you saying we could already have some sort of little snack cookie, buy a big tub of icing and just section it out, and then you've already got your snack?
I can tell you right now that you can buy a tub of chocolate graham crackers, or not animal crackers. That'll blow your mind. And then you just lay out some dipping options. Peanut butter's a great option.
Perfect.
Go over and get some cream cheese icing. It's like $1 for a whole tub. You can have as much as you want.
So we don't need this company. We don't have to wait until January.
Screw you, General Mills.
We don't have to wait from now until you hit summertime.
I'm bringing it back this afternoon. I mean, it sounds a little sad, but I won't be sad.
Well, they'll be returning, though. So if you were ever a fan of them or ever wondered what they were tasting like, that'll be out in the summer.
Well, if you have a need, we want you to know.
It'll be here.
It will, but you could also meet that need right now.
You can make your own.
Maybe the Riot would sound better if they spent less time improving their lives at their gym. That was sarcasm. It's the Riot on Radio U.
Do you watch the YouTubes? I watch the YouTubes.
YouTube
TV. All the tubes.
So there's YouTube TV, YouTube Music, YouTube Red. So there's all of them.
Dude, I'm all into YouTube. Like I love YouTube. So like I'm the YouTube. I don't know. I was a Red subscriber. I don't know what I am now, but I get music and commercial-free YouTube.
Sure.
And it's weird to me. I forget that YouTube has commercials because I've been 6-7 months, maybe even longer than that, having it commercial-free. And so every once in a while, if I'm logged into a different account or something and an ad pops up,
it'll
I'm
show you.
What is this? Don't skip.
And
I don't need to skip.
There's usually like 2 or 3 in the video.
Yeah. No, believe me, totally worth it. Like, that's for my own personal life.
Sure.
It's worth paying for. That being said, YouTube ad revenue, it's way up.
That's a lot.
I'm not the only one that loves YouTube.
So for YouTube, for their ad revenue, they've never really shared the number of like what they might make in ads for a particular amount of time, and they finally have.
Yeah, it doubled in the last 2 years. In 2019, YouTube made $15 billion from its ads.
That's a lot of money.
$15
That is a lot.
billion.
Wow.
From ads. Wow. Is right. That's wild. And I mean, yes, there's a lot of work for them to do, server infrastructure. Like there's so much work there.
They're making money. I think that's all you have to say.
Money.
Because that's not their only, like they're making tons of money in tons of different ways.
Wow. Like that's just absolutely wild. The one thing I would like to know, honestly, is like in that lineup, does that count my $10 a month? Like, do they count me as ad revenue?
I don't think they would, again, because that would be to another side part, but this is just the commercial ad revenue.
Wow.
That's a lot, but then there's other areas where there's just as much money, but I don't think you would be included in that, but maybe.
So that's just money they're making without me.
Just the ad revenue.
So then there's my $120 a year that they're getting because, I listen to YouTube music all the time. I watch YouTube every night. I just sit down and see the people I follow. What have they been making? Anything new from Digital Foundry? Oh, there's a DF Retro video. I love that.
Oh, You got to have that.
You know, that's just what I do.
Again, I don't know for sure. They haven't disclosed that, but I really think it's just to add revenue.
Okay.
So when you watch a commercial, if you skip one or you at least skip part of it, that goes towards all that revenue.
Wow. That's money. The thing is, too, here's what I think. Do you think, let's say that 100,000 went missing?
If anybody would notice it?
Would anybody notice?
Probably. Unfortunately, yes, if you were the one who took it.
What if I went down to Google and I was just like, listen, guys, look, you got a lot of money. Why don't you guys consider just, writing me a check right now?
Just giving you a little something?
No one even has to know. All right, just put it. It's petty cash. What do you guys got in petty cash? Gold bars? Just give me a couple gold bars.
So Zach was texting, said, with your $10 a month subscription, how did the content creators get paid? Well, they get their part of their advertising too.
Right, they actually do get. If I watch a channel that's ad supported, they actually do get.
But they're just talking about that's how much YouTube makes on it. So they're making even more, but it goes out to different creators.
Don't know the answer.
Worst of the Riot. RadioU.
I told you that Nikki did not always love the iPhone. And, okay, let me rephrase that. There was a time that she's always loved the iPhone, but there was a time when she was with someone else.
It's not even just the iPhone. It's just with Apple products, I think. I'm definitely a fan of the brand.
I think the brand owns you.
It doesn't.
I don't think you own the brand.
It doesn't control me.
I think it does.
No, it doesn't.
I think it does.
I just appreciate its style, its beauty, its grace.
Nikki used to be a Blackberry user.
Yeah, I had a Blackberry.
And I want you to know that her strong, intense feelings that you see towards Apple products, they were Blackberry feelings.
Hey, me and Chris, who also works here, we used to have, one of our earlier phones was this Blackberry Pearl, and it had a little had a little button that you control it, and I liked that phone. But he didn't know any better because that was your baby phone.
You feel like at the time though,
it was
remember it was it's all she wanted for Christmas, and she was begging her mom and dad please, do you love me?
Oh, that was the other one.
Do you actually love me? Okay, because you say you love me, but what have you done for me lately?
No, that was their iPhone competition one, and I remember I got it on Christmas, but I couldn't activate it because everything
that's right.
close, so we missed that final detail. But man, I appreciated it then.
It was a tough time for Nikki.
Well, we all have our days.
Yeah, so it looks like the Blackberry is about to stop.
Oh, they're not doing it anymore?
No, they currently have a deal with a company called TCL. Yeah, those TV people to manufacture Blackberry branded phones. That deal ends this year, and Blackberry has not yet secured a partner.
So they need a partner to continue.
Yeah.
Just let it go, guys.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, come back later, pull a razor or whatever. Because the razor thing came back, and that was popular.
Here's what I'm going to say to you. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get mad.
No. Why would we get mad?
Because sometimes you do. Don't smear dog poop on me.
I won't.
Okay? You don't have a baggie
with you, do you? What were you wanting to say?
I just want to tell you that if this can happen to the Blackberry, it could happen to the iPhone.
Oh, I'm sure I'll die before then. The Apple stuff will be around a lot longer.
You know what? I'll bet if we could wind the clock back enough, it'd be like, Nikki, there's going to be a this. And you'd be like, they can take my Blackberry from my cold, dead hands.
I don't know. I'm sure that is totally possible.
What am I going to get? A razor? See what I'm saying?
One day there'll be something else. I'm sure there will be.
What, you got an NV2?
But it's been a long time since they've done anything.
Yep, it has, Nikki.
So you might as well just
let it go.
Wait, what's the term? Know when to fold them.
Know when to hold them.
And no one wants to hold them, so you got to fold them.
That feels like it's more of a razor thing.
No, I think it's just a phone thing. No one wants them anymore.
It's true. So it's over.
That's too bad, though. You're sad to see when tough times.
Yeah.
For a company.
This is just a reminder that if you have a product that Nikki loves it, and you're like, we're fine, Nikki likes it, maybe.
Well, I don't like it anymore, so that's why it's gone.
Just saying. I'm just pointing out that everybody knows me as the harbinger of failure, and that if I like something, that product is probably doomed. Well, guess what? Nikki has loved things that have died. I'm just saying.
It doesn't hurt me, though, because I already left it a long time ago.
Took like 100 years or something. I don't know, but it happened. Yeah. So take that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Come on, who went to the gym today? Anybody?
Hands up? Well, don't
either.
put it up too hard because you're sore.
I didn't go.
If you did you run at home?
No, I didn't do anything.
Did you?
I slept.
Did you decide that you needed to have some more rest?
Yep. That's it. Last couple days, like, man, I just can't get out of bed.
Aww.
And then I get in the shower and I'm just like, why leave here?
I could just keep sleeping here.
Don't you think we've gone far enough as it is? Like, people underestimate just how perilous the journey was.
Yeah.
From, my bed to the shower. Haven't we done enough?
That was a big accomplishment.
Haven't we done enough? The answer is obviously no, and so eventually I made it here. But if you are working out, whether it's a new year or a new you, or you're just maintaining an old discipline, they keep doing studies in this area. We looked at one last year in which they did a study having people listen to podcasts versus listening to music during the
when
workout.
they were working out, yeah.
And so what they found is that people were working out. You actually did better, were able to go longer, perform better, et cetera, with music than with a podcast. So that's something. But let's keep going. Here's a new study that has popped up in which they had people listening to different kinds of music.
Oh, and then which one might work best?
Mm-hmm. And they found that music with somewhere between 170 and 190 beats per minute were songs that were the best to work out to. Now, they also said that people that were doing high-intensity workouts, endurance exercises such as running, had better benefits with that music than people who are doing like leg presses, for example.
Now, I wonder, because they mentioned podcasts last year, but for me, like, say I'm on the treadmill, I actually sometimes like watching YouTube or watching a show, because I feel like the time goes by faster if I'm actually watching something compared to maybe listening to music that I've already been through that playlist before. Time tends to drag a little bit more.
That's interesting, because I'll say for me, I have found that I actually do at first, like in the first 5 to 10 minutes, a podcast is great, but I'll hit a point where, and I think it's got to be something where my body is like actually kicking into workout mode or something where I'm like, dude,
you need to switch it up.
This is killing me. Like, I need some music already.
Now, if you're lifting or doing something along those lines, then you definitely need music.
Well, they actually...
The show won't work.
No, it might not. But they're saying here that it's actually not a... like for lifting, music is not as effective as it is for running. They say that any kind of a cardio exercise where you're pushing yourself like that, you get a bigger boost out of music than if you were lifting.
Well, you just go prepared. You got to have everything.
Yeah. If you're like, well, what songs are like that? Their example is Beyonce's Single Ladies, which you've heard at every wedding you've ever gone to.
So you know the song, that sort of beat, that's about it.
That's 193 beats per minute.
They're not saying that song, so you don't have to go and get to the gym and be like, man, why do I have to listen to this song? They're just saying similar style.
That is, they said, the most effective 170 to 190 beats per minute.
For the songs that you listen to.
Right, and that song has 193 beats per minute, which is over 3 beats per second. That's a lot of beats. Nikki.
So find what works for you and then make a playlist.
And always remember that the RadioU dance channel, that's part of our Fusion channel, which you can find either at fusion.radiou.com, or you can also go to our app and listen for free on that.
It's where you can have a channel and the songs are so long, like you could listen to one song and you're almost done with your entire workout.
Well, dance music's like that.
It's great.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I'm looking at an article here about a girl. She is 19. Her name's Macy. Says she's a dancer. She moved to Hawaii 3 years ago with her family, so she would have been 16. And she said in the move to Hawaii, she felt the courage to be her authentic self. And so she has stopped shaving all of her body hair.
Oh, really?
So she has, like long black hair on her arms and legs. And she says she now feels free. Society conditioned her to do that.
Yeah, that's become a trend in the last couple of years.
What is to just stop? Okay, you have to admit, like, it's kind of weird and very arbitrary. Like, to just be like, all right, girls, you shouldn't have. I mean, obviously you have hair, but you shouldn't have it.
Well, I think if you look back, it was gosh, when was it? Like the 40s, 30s, or when did it start? Like to where
I have no idea.
If you go back and look at like why women started having to shave, then people use it as the argument of like, well, we're not going to do that anymore.
She said that she started when she was 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, obviously she wasn't alive in the 40s, but she said that she was tired of,
of doing that.
Okay, this is interesting. She says, with every cut and razor burn from the repetitive motion of swiping away, I was silently despising myself for not being who they wanted me to be. I was angry and frustrated.
I don't know if maybe that's a bit too much. Like, are we thinking too much about it?
It's interesting. Nikki, different people feel things different ways. Like, they say that there are those among us that actually do feel things more intensely than others. But see, the thing is, like, I don't feel that way when I shave my face. I'm not shaving my face like society hates this.
Well, I think they were talking about how that's more normal, though. Like, if you didn't do it, it'd be fine. If you did it, it's fine. That's what I was going to say. And if like you did not.
That would be the difference, is that as a man, if I didn't
You're
shave, people don't
to.
care.
Yeah.
But like as a woman, if you don't shave, they're like, get out. Out.
Yeah, so it just depends on I think each person.
So she decided. She said she saw a woman on the beach and she was all like natural, and she was walking down the beach in a bikini, and she was like, I want to be confident like that.
It would have to be everybody else. Like, it'd have to be a complete before everybody, like before I started doing that.
She's obviously taking a stance
on that,
doing this. So I don't know. Like, no offense, ladies, it is societal conditioning, but it's weird to see. But it's normal. Like, that's actually natural. What, like, our aesthetics currently are not a natural aesthetic. It's interesting.
And I think that's what some women are tired of.
I'll just tell you that intellectually, I'm 100% with you. Aesthetically, I'm like, I'm not sure.
Still got to get used to it.
But see, Nikki, I've been conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for us all to change. And so I'll tell you what, I'll start shaving all my body hair. And Nikki, you just
just I don't have to.
Yeah. And that way, like, we're gonna change society right here.
I gave during the last fundraiser, and all I got was this crappy morning show. This is The Riot on listener-supported RadioU.
You can't live in Australia. I know there are people who do. At least they say there are people that live there, but it's really not a good choice.
Talking about the snakes or the spiders? Or both of them?
Take your pick, Nikki.
Or which one?
Basically, Australia is a large island full of things that can kill you. And you're like, we'll escape the island, only to find great white sharks all over the beaches. No, really. They have more great white sharks there than anywhere else.
But are they on the beaches or are they in the water?
They're in the water, but you're like 2 feet into the beach and all of a sudden you're like, why is it so dark? Oh, a shark just ate me. And I have to die in here in its stomach.
I'm sure there's areas that are perfectly fine, but yes, Australia is known for having some more intense creatures that you have to face.
Well, the continent-wide popular Australian reptile park, they're a zoo or something? It's a zoo. You go to the reptile park, see the horrific items. The other things you'll find at the reptile park are spiders. They keep spiders there. Now, Nikki, they had a real strong rainy season in several parts of Australia in general. And so what that means is that it's been perfect breeding grounds for the,
the big bugs?
What's the spider called? It's the funnel web spider. The funnel web spider will kill you. Like, real talk, like, all jokes aside, its venom is so powerful.
Because when you say that, I keep thinking funnel cake, so we're not talking like that, are we?
I do love a good funnel cake,
I know,
Nikki.
Right?
And
I just hear funnel, I can't help myself.
Arguably, over the course of 70 to 80 years, funnel cake will kill you. It'll just put you right down.
This bug will do it faster.
This bug will do it a whole lot faster than that.
So it's a poisonous spider?
It is a poisonous spider. And so what they've been doing is they're like, hey, if you guys could, if you see one of these spiders, one, don't touch it. Two, they show you how to catch it. And they're asking you to bring your funnel web spiders that you catch into the reptile park so they can take part in their venom milking program.
Why can't you just kill it then? Like squish it?
Did you hear what I said? Their venom milking program.
What are they doing with that?
Well,
is that like a new oat milk?
Yeah, it is. It's for you, Nikki. It's for your cereal.
It's a new milk alternative. Are they trying to find like an antidote thing, or
yes?
So they need it.
They use it to create antivenom, which is then distributed around the country.
The hospitals.
And they say that it saves a good. Last year, it saved over 300 lives.
Well, then it's worth doing. How weird though. You have to catch it though.
Yeah.
How do you catch it?
Well, I'll tell you what you do. You move to a country where they don't have these.
No, but someone still has to catch it.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
That can't be. That's just.
I was just focused on prevention.
Listen, that's just burying your head in the sand and ignoring the problem.
Nope. Ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So what you do is you move to a deciduous forest where a strong winter comes through and kills all the bugs.
And no big deal.
And like one or two of them survive and they're able to build a little colony, but it's not, and then you get out of there. No. I'm sorry, what was your question again?
So if you are in Australia, how do you catch the spider to take it to them?
Carefully.
That's all they're telling us?
Well, I mean, you put it in a jar. I didn't watch their how to catch it video, but one thing they're for darn sure, they're like, don't let it touch you.
Yeah, you want to be safe. So, I mean, you don't want to have to, in turn, need the anti-venom.
Yeah, and they just recently caught one of the largest one of these spiders ever. So, like, they're
Is that the one they call the Rock?
It is.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dwayne John, did you look at the pictures?
I did. It's bigger. Like they're just saying that this season these guys are getting much bigger, and so they call the larger ones now like the Rock.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought that was cute. The Rock Spider.
And you know he could use a boost because I don't think he's in that new Fast and Furious movie. Nikki.
Oh, is he not?
I don't think so.
Needs a little something.
Hobbs and Shaw didn't do as well, so this is good for the Rock that these deadly poisonous spiders are being named after him. It's great.
I don't know.
I don't ever want to go to Australia.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, you don't nap very often, right?
No, it's nice when you get to, but not too often.
Okay. But let's say you nap.
Sure.
Like, have you ever taken, say, like a 5 or 10 minute nap?
I do not like those. I sometimes feel worse if it's not a really long nap. So if I'm going to go for the gold, it'll be like an hour long nap.
Have you ever like napped for 5 minutes and had dreams?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so
then you feel like
that's normal?
And you feel like it's a really long dream, but then you look and you're like, oh my gosh, it was only like 5 minutes.
That's the part I don't understand is
like, how's that possible?
Well, because they say like, to get into REM sleep, it takes, like 90 minutes on your first wave or whatever. And that's where you have your dreams. But yesterday after the show, I was so tired. Like I was working on the podcast at one point and I was just like hunched over.
You're just and ready to go to sleep.
Okay, you know what? Screw this. Like 5 minutes. So I laid down and set a 5-minute timer on my phone. And I was like, and after that, I'll get up. I'll be fine. So I did that. And I mean, like, I had a night's worth of dreams.
Really?
I fell asleep.
Isn't it weird?
Immediately.
Yeah, it's
and when I woke up, it was just like, what? What's going on?
One morning, I got up because I set an alarm like, okay, if I'm going to go work out. So I got up and I was going to go work out. And then I decided, no, I didn't want to. Yeah. So I went back to sleep and I get like 45 to an hour longer.
Yeah.
And
and when you know that, doesn't it make it harder to get up?
Well, I kept waking up like every 5 minutes, but I'd have these incredible dreams in between each time that I felt like I slept like 2 nights worth. It was the weirdest thing. I was like, wow, I feel refreshed.
Okay.
But I was still dreaming.
All right. Well, you know what? I don't feel as scared now because
you were worried.
The amount of dreaming I was doing in 5 minutes was like, I think I have a problem.
Listen, your brain had a lot to say.
It did.
It wanted you to sleep while it could get it all out.
And so I got up and I didn't feel refreshed, but I was able to keep working.
Yeah.
Which is something that up until that point felt very dubious.
Maybe you just needed a little bit more than 5 minutes.
Maybe. Something. but I did it. Like my
Very
brain,
common.
my
Don't
brain
worry
was just
about
like,
it.
come on, let's do it.
I got to get this dream out. You need to go to sleep for a few minutes.
We got to flush these chemicals.
But it is very weird when you feel like you've gone through an entire book, like an entire story because of this dream. And then you look and you realize it's only been a couple of minutes. How does it do it?
Yeah. Hey, man, I'll tell you what. You guys, mock all you want, but, carpet on the floor, it's perfect.
Little afternoon nap.
Just go and lay down.
No, you can go to bed for your afternoon nap. When you go to sleep in the morning, that's when you use the carpet.
I slept on the floor in this studio.
Oh,
I took a 5-minute break.
Nap. I didn't know it was here.
No, yeah, it was right.
I thought you were at home.
No, I was working on something. And I was like, I am in such desperate, I can't stay awake. And I thought, all right, it would be better to take a 5-minute break and then get up and get back to work than whatever this is that you're doing.
Did you set an alarm or did you actually?
Yeah. No, totally.
Okay, I was wondering, how did you manage to make it 5 minutes and wake yourself up?
Well, I had to decide. I was like, how long can you do this? And it was like, 5 minutes seems reasonable. That, that's a trip to the bathroom and some water and
that
whatever.
One's fine.
It's 5 minutes. So I set the alarm on my phone, and when it went off, first off, I hated it. And second, I don't know.
You still hated it.
I got up.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
The alarm that I wake up with is, I feel like I'm going to call it a gentle alarm.
It's not too much?
You know what? I should have had it queued up so you guys can hear it, because nothing's more exciting than listening to my alarm. You guys ready? Let's see.
This might be inspiration. You're like, I need a new tone in the morning. Oh, it's very nice.
It's just like...
It's like bells.
Mm-hmm. It's called Argon.
Okay. Is that one that came with your phone, or did you?
Oh, yeah.
You added it?
Well, see, I have, you can set a YouTube song or some different things like that for it, and it's just like... I'm a little concerned about using a song. You're like, why? No, I've done that before, and I've just been like, I love this song.
Well, remember, we work with music every day, so we hear the songs all the time. So I feel like you could totally sleep right through it.
Yeah. So, well, I have a long, ancient story about that and a Blindside song that I was listening to Radio U to wake up, and I had a dream that I was in the studio just getting ready for the show, and I absolutely overslept. And when I woke up, it was like, oh, wait, I'm not at work. Oh, my gosh!
We need a tone to wake us up.
Mm-hmm. So they say, and these are researchers in Australia, that if you want to be your most alert, that you should be coaxed into wakefulness, not shaken into it.
So nothing too loud right away?
They say a gentle alarm that will kind of, slowly
ease you
into wakefulness is much better than just an immediate... They're studying what they call sleep inertia. Sleep inertia is the grogginess that you feel when you can't get out of bed because you're still asleep. And an object at rest has a tendency to stay at rest. So how do you get from at rest to in motion? They say a nice... Gentle
tone
alarm.
Well, I know some people, though, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So you might still be the exception. If you're like, that doesn't work for me. Yeah, maybe not.
I don't know what to do with that. Because, I mean, mine...
Yours is gentle enough.
It's fairly
that's
gentle.
Totally fine.
It doesn't make me mad when I hear it.
I mean, everybody's still going to be frustrated when you have to wake up, but it's not adding to that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who also use the light ones that slowly get brighter and brighter and brighter. They say that we should be waking up to light, not necessarily noise.
One of my roommates does that, and they say that it doesn't work that much. They say that the big problem they've had with it is it just makes them sensitive to light now, so they can't go to sleep if it's light.
Oh, works in reverse.
So, I don't know. Ooh, Ronnie, I like that. What about an alarm that's attached to a caffeine IV drip?
Well, I think that feels a bit too medical. Like, what if you roll in your sleep during the night and you roll the IV right on out?
Yeah, and you're bleeding all over the place.
And the coffee's just everywhere, too. I don't know about that.
Might be a problem. Lisa says that 21 Pilots Addict with a Pen is the one that she likes to wake up to.
Oh, that's her tone?
Yeah, okay. That works for me. Well, I'll tell you what. Feel free to let us know what your wake-up option is. 877-2-RADIO-U. Because I'm always...
You want them to play it for you over the phone?
No, they don't need to do that.
Just text it.
They don't... Oh, didn't I say
No,
text?
I just said over the phone.
You know what? Actually, if you guys want to call, this would be a lot of fun. We'll just talk, and you can play your alarm tone for me.
We can do that. I mean, I don't know if you have any place you need to go this morning, but you can also do that.
Look, it's not that important. Whatever you think's so important, it's not.
Ooh, Deb says alarm ringtone is fit for a king. Great choice on that.
Yeah, but that's not gentle.
Well, that's a push.
Yeah.
Towards getting you up. And remember, some people need that push.
Some people need a push. I like a combo. Like I need somebody pushing, but then I also need somebody up front that's dragging.
Way.
I need pushing and dragging.
You need a lot.
A lot of inertia.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Dude, I hate to say it, but I know all about this. So there's The Lion King, right? They're showing it.
Now on Disney Plus.
Now on Disney Plus. It is, isn't it?
Yeah, we only know that because they started releasing, like you go and check the Netflix for like February list or the Hulu or the HBO. And so now there's a Disney Plus one. It's like, oh, you get another list.
It is funny. The Disney Plus list is 2 movies and the Netflix one is 100,000 movies.
I think it's more like 20 on Netflix and there's a couple on Disney Plus, but then their shows are like doing episodes each week.
So I'm doing a crappy job getting into this. Here's the deal. Have you ever gone to your parents dropped you off at a fundraiser like Parents Night Out? When I was sophomore class president, I hosted multiple Parents Night Out to raise money for whatever. And so you drop kids off, and then as a high school student, you're so mature and grown up and capable. And so you'd
watch everybody.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
To raise money for something.
So we did that. Well, you know what? They did one of those in Berkeley, California. They had a little Parents Night Out, had all the kids in, and they showed them The Lion King.
So basically, one of the dads bought the movie at Best Buy. Then they were using that copy to show the remake from last year's movie.
That's illegal.
Not allowed to do that.
Not allowed to do that because, and you're like, oh, well, if they didn't charge money, nope, still illegal. It's a public showing. You are not allowed to publicly show a film or I don't even think like a television show. And you're like, well, but here's it. Nope. Like if you ever had that all-nighter at the school where you guys watched the movie, that's illegal too.
You know, the community ones where it's like a night under the stars, not allowed if they paid.
And I learned all of this when I went to that fancy college because we would do. Actually, I had some great, I don't know if other people thought they were great. I thought they were great. We did some screening nights on campus. So, like, we would bring in, like, these old 3D films and et cetera, et cetera. It's kind of kitschy, but it was fun. And you have to pay for not just the movie, the $12 the Blu-ray costs you. You have to pay for the license to show it. And it depends on how big the venue is, how many people you expect to attend, whether or not you're going to charge admission. Like, it is complicated.
So the school had gotten an alert. Well, actually, the company that does movie licensing had received an alert that The Lion King was screened. So someone told during the event on November 15th, and they managed the licensing for Disney movies and for a bunch of others. So they didn't have a license, so they had to pay $250 per showing of the movie if they ever did it again at a future event, and they had to pay $250 for the one they already did.
Yeah, and so they raised $750. They have to give $250 of their $750.
Yeah, so they're upset that a majority of their money used to raise for something good had to go just for the movie itself, and that they had no idea.
Dude, it's...
Because I'll tell you, the best thing would be is if you have to find a movie, you don't pick a Disney one. Disney ones are the most expensive ones to do.
Boy, isn't that the truth. Not that I know, because I've looked into licensing them.
Well, I was going to do a party once with a bunch of friends where we rented out a movie theater. And for that theater, they were like, well, you can request any movie you want to. They go to the studio licensing, and then you pay the licensing for it. And they're like, except Disney. You don't get to do Disney. No one gets to do Disney. So they're very tough on it.
Yeah, it's something, right? So there is, dude, this is great too, but like, I won't get into the whole thing, but some of the parents are really angry and this is wild. Listen to this. They say the reason they had to do a fundraiser in the first place is because Disney is basically got grandfathered in on an old tax law that allows them to pay just insanely low tax rates, which is why public schools are underfunded. I love that so much. They're like, hey, listen, we wouldn't have to do this fundraiser if
it
you guys
wasn't for you.
paid taxes like everybody else does, but you're the Magic Kingdom, so you have an exception. Their tax rates are at 1978 levels.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's 2020.
So that's in Berkeley. Now a lesson has been learned.
Yep. So, hey, and just a heads up, if you're having some friends over, don't show them a movie. You guys can play a board game as long as you pay to license it. Seriously, like if you start looking into it, that licensing stuff, it will get you.
It is real.
And you're like, they won't catch me. Yeah, I know. Until they do. And then it's a problem.
The Riot, not everyone's fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
Radio U.
You know what I want? I don't care, and I know I've said this and blah, 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 whatever. I want a new game to play. Is anybody playing anything really good?
It feels like you are unsettled, like you want something new.
I did. I played all the way through a game last weekend and had a blast. Like, I had so much fun. And then when I got done, it was like finishing a really good book. And I was like,
Don't you have anything left that you still have to get through, or you
I
just want
should
something
have
completely
stacks.
new?
I got Jedi Fallen Order like before Christmas. I got that really great deal on it. I've tried playing it. I just can't get into it.
You need to play. What was the colorful one we talked about last week? The one with the kingdom?
Are you talking about the one where I was like, no, I'm not going to get it because it was on the planet?
Yeah, but it was all like
Journey to the...
That's the one. You should try that. It looks totally like you would love it.
You're probably right. That's probably a good choice.
But
Maybe
I know
will
it's
do
new,
that.
and you thought, well, maybe you'll wait until it goes down in price. But it could be good.
So there's that. Journey to a Savage Planet, I think is what it's called. I just canceled Stadia. You guys remember that? Where
did that even go?
Back in November, Google launched Stadia, but you could only play it if you paid for their like big advance whatever. Or if you're a friend of someone who paid for the big advance. I did, thanks to Ken, one of our listeners. He did do the big advance thing, and he shared his friend code with me. And so I have played Stadia a little bit, but not enough.
Well, you still have to have the games.
You do, but they give you like 1 or 2 free games a month. And so I have a couple of free games in there that I could be playing. But Nikki, this all comes down to this. I'm looking for a new game, et cetera, but free on Google Stadia this month and free on the Epic Game Store this week if you've got a PC is Farming Simulator 19.
Oh, answer right there.
Nikki and I have weirdly always been interested in
and never tried
Farming Simulator, but we've never tried it.
There's this whole underground world into these games that we know nothing about.
Like way into it.
But it's way there.
Yeah. So
you want to do that?
I feel like that might make a good Obadiah Plays.
Yeah, you should do the
farming simulator thing.
You absolutely should.
So
please do. Please. And he said it's free, so...
it is free.
Yeah, that's great.
So if you guys could want to toss something my way that's not free, like give me a heads up or whatever. If anybody's played Journey to the Savage Planet, I'd like to play that. But
Matt texted he's been super interested in the Journey one, but he wants you to let him know how it is once you have a chance to play
Matt.
it.
Dang it. Can't you spend the money and tell me?
No, he wants you to help out with that. Then Aaron texted and said Fallen Order is really good.
Yeah, everyone says that. Why don't I like it? Why? What's wrong with me? Why don't I like it?
It's okay.
I know.
Maybe let's go back to the farming simulator.
Matt says play Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Matt, everybody says that's really hard. And like, I'm not good at video games.
You want to push yourself. Got to start somewhere.
You're right. I should push myself. And this is the place where I need to push myself.
This is it.
Like getting up earlier, eating a good breakfast, like all those things.
You're not doing that.
That's not the place to push yourself, guys. Push yourself into Sekiro.
Seems right.
That's the answer.
Well, you can text 877-2-RADIO-U or throw it on our Facebook page. Our page is at RadioU Riot.
I think I would like a good action game. I played a really good first-person shooter over the weekend, and I think it was nice because I couldn't think.
You're too busy fighting.
With a role-playing game, you're like, should I walk over there? Walk. This was like, there are things trying to kill me everywhere. Oh, my gosh.
Joe wanted to know if you've ever done Microsoft's Xbox Game Pass on your PC.
Oh, I have. I have it.
Mm-hmm.
I have it. And there's 100 games right there, but I have nothing to play.
It's like $1 for the first month and then $5 after. And he said it has good games, too.
Outer Worlds is, that's something I should play. But like I said,
ones you should be doing, you're just not gravitating towards right now.
Right. I have a problem. But don't worry
about it.
It's
not a problem. It's what makes you unique.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no!
I missed it. Do it again.
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
I mean, it sounds a little sad, but I won't be sad.